And I was determined to go to that conference that was going to be about the ordination of women. Incarnate Word Sister Dot Etling and Ada Maria Isasi Diaz and Sister Mary Walden and Ursuline Sister and I, we drove through ice and snow to Detroit. And what wonderful energy to be among a few thousand people who listened with open minds and open hearts. Women serving, women leading. Why not? And that evening there was lovely prayer, and Carla de Sola, I'm writing her biography now, she danced with incense, and in that candlelight room, the dance, the incense filled the room, and we could hear anyone who feels called to ordination stand. And one person stood, and another stood, and another stood, and I stood, and we joined the dance. We joined the gentle dance of the Spirit that is getting stronger and stronger. Well, 3 years later, in 1978, we gathered in Baltimore, and we did a dance procession with chains. We had big gray chains, and we marched from the harbor to the convention center. And chains can hold you down, but chains can link you. Chains can make strong links. And we linked together in 1978. Well, in 1985, we met in St. Louis, Missouri, and we remembered the story of the people being freed. We remember how Miriam led prayer and ritual and dance, saying, "We are free." So, in 1985, the freedom was growing for all of our sisters. In the Acts of John, we read that Jesus and his disciples did a circle dance at the Last Supper. So in 1995, we danced a discipleship of equals, breaking bread and doing justice. And I planned our opening prayer. We had a pompous procession of people with mitres and chasubles and cassocks. A very pompous procession going on. And by the side, there were poor people huddled. They were cold, they were hungry, they were homeless, and they were reaching out to that pompous procession dance. And you know, this very hat was used in the pompous procession dance in 1995. And the poor begged, and the poor begged, and the chasuble became a tablecloth for the poor to feast. And this became a container to share some water with the thirsty and the needy. We met as a discipleship of equals, and there were bishops among us. And at the end, there was a little conference of bishops and some of our leaders. And one of the bishops didn't talk about the theology he heard. He talked about that dance that he saw. Well, in 2001, strength was growing, and Women's Ordination Conference people joined Women's Ordination Worldwide. We came from all over the world, from 27 countries, from 5 continents. And in Dublin, Ireland, we listened to each other. We listened to Mairead Maguire, who had gotten the Nobel Peace Prize. And we went outside to a beautiful place, and we had our purple stoles. And we remember that when a man is ordained, his hand is wrapped as sacred. But with our purple stoles, we made gags because we remembered. We are not supposed to talk about women's ordination in the Catholic Church, and we danced. We danced with our gags, and we couldn't be stopped. And so we continued on, and we gathered in Philadelphia in 2015, and we danced Miriam's song, again remembering the prophetess who led people in praise. And that was the name of my doctoral dissertation, The Prophetess Who Led Them in Praise. And Colleen Fulmer's song and my dance of Miriam has been part of 2 ordination conferences and the dissertation that has opened doors for me as a woman in theology. Well, in Philadelphia in 2015, we danced the story of Sojourner Truth and Dolores Huerta and Rosa Parks. And we danced remembering Malala, who spoke for education for girls and for children everywhere. And finally, we danced as Miriam and Elizabeth, remembering that the lowly one shall be raised, the mighty shall fall down, the systems of power shall be turned upside down. And so we gather here now and we say yes, like an ocean of love, an ocean of strength. We gather here today, and we are still dancing, and we are leading with love. Yes, leading with love. Wonderful. I'm still alive, and I'm delighted to dance with you.